Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining us today in Live Fit Kitchen. We are joined once again by Dr. Purcell. Hello there.
Hello everyone.
So we have another of her marvellous recipes for our holiday table. This is an alternative to cranberry sauce, minus all those nasty sugars and other chemicals. This one is magic. Talk to us about it.
Well, this recipe is very special to me because I got it from my mom. And I, as a child, was one of those kids who was scared of the jelly in a can cranberry, and I never wanted to eat it. And so she actually came up with this recipe as an alternative to that. She mixed these cranberries with seeds, and it was so delicious, and I've loved cranberries ever since.
I was so not that kid. That cranberry stuff, my mom would bring that out one time every year, and I loved that
and
stuff.
And she lapped it all up.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so here's our alternative.
This is the antioxidant cranberry sauce. So not only is it healthy for you, but it's filled with phytochemicals, vitamins, and minerals to help restore your health and boost your immune system. It's 1 bag of fresh cranberries. It's 3/4 cup of water, 15 drops of liquid stevia, and 1 16-ounce bag of frozen mixed berries.
Okay, so yesterday when I did the shopping, I could not find a bag of fresh cranberries anywhere in Orange County, I swear. I looked all over the place. So I went with fresh frozen, which is my second choice, but still a good one. This is a 10-ounce bag. Now, if I had this recipe to do over, I would probably use 1.5 bags because I really love cranberries and I'd probably increase the cranberry ratio. But the 10-ounce bag with a 16-ounce bag of the mixed berries really did work very well. And per the recipe, the mixed berry bag is strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, and raspberries. And oh my gosh, these berries go so well together. So what I did was I put my 3/4 cup of water in the saucepan and heated that up and added the stevia. So put the stevia in the water, then add the cranberries. Now the cranberries I let warm up to room temperature. They were frozen. I left them out for a couple of hours. They were room temp when they went in, but I may have overcooked them a little bit. Tell me where I should have stopped.
So it's really important when we put the cranberries in the pot with the water, and it's a little bit of the sweeter water because we've added the stevia to it, that we just put the lid on and wait for them to pop. And actually cranberries do pop. So if you've never made fresh cranberries, you just wait. You'll be in the kitchen doing something else and you'll hear pop, 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 almost like popcorn. And then you know that they're ready. So it's, how many minutes did you cook them for?
I probably cooked them for about 13 minutes total. I checked them after 5 minutes and I gave them a good stir, and then I went back after 10 minutes and I noticed that most of them had popped, but not all of them, and I didn't want to arrive with an unpopped cranberry, so I gave them a couple more minutes.
So if most of them are popped, you're finished. If you overcook the cranberries, the pectin will be released in them and then they will become jelly-like and they won't be as whole. So if you're going to have a whole cranberry sauce with mixed berries, my advice is get them off the heat right away. But if you want more of a jelly-like puree, you can cook the cranberries a little bit more.
So we're a little on the side of jelly here. They're not completely mush. You can see, if you could see close up this mixture, some of the cranberries are still recognizably cranberries.
I see a couple of them in there.
Some of them are more like sauce, to be honest, at this point. So my berry medley, I left these frozen. So as soon as I realized, okay, these are done, I stirred the frozen mixed berries straight into the hot cranberries, and that was it.
Poof.
Yeah, it's that simple. So how this turned out, as you can see, it's really shiny. It's really pretty. You can see all of the different berries in there. Now these berries are whole, and as we were talking about, some people maybe are more used to the more gelatinous, weird stuff from a can that as a kid I really liked, and then as an adult I learned what was in there and I stopped eating it. But anyway, if you wanted to, you could try and put some of this into, like I have one of those little magic bullet mixers, and you could make a puree.
And
right?
You could puree, and then we've even talked about adding a little orange zest or lemon zest to it, depending on what other items you have on the Thanksgiving table that day. I do want to talk a little bit about berries because they're just so amazing and so important for our health. And so many of you may be familiar with cranberries and have heard about drinking cranberry juice for urinary tract infections. And actually what cranberries contain is they contain tannins, which are a compound that prevent the bacteria from adhering to the lining of the urinary tract. And so when we drink a lot of cranberries or we eat a lot of cranberries, it prevents the bacteria from sticking. And so the bacteria go flushed right out with, urination. and that's great. The other thing is that blueberries are so high in antioxidants, and they actually help strengthen the small capillaries of the eye. For those of us who have a lot of bruising or vessel bursting, eating more blueberries will help strengthen those capillaries and the membranes that supply those blood vessels. And then, of course, raspberries have anti-yeast, antiviral, and antibacterial properties. So Mother Nature has provided for us within the plants that we eat lots of vitamins, lots of minerals, and lots of protective compounds that help boost our immune system. They're anti-inflammatory. They can increase circulation, and on the list goes. So enjoy this dish. It's a little sweet. The cranberries are a little tart, and the mixture together is really divine.
It looks really pretty. Go and taste it. See how I did. Oh, it's always that moment, isn't it?
The moment of truth.
I know.
This recipe is so refreshing.
Super. Now, be sure that you don't overdo the stevia on this one, because as Dr. Purcell said, this is very refreshing and you want to get all of the flavors. So the 15 drops of stevia is the teeny little tiny, barely half a drops that come out of the little bottles. If you have a stevia bottle that has a full dropper in it and it's, you know, more like the eyedropper kind of thing, 5 to 8 drops, absolute maximum. You do not want to overdo the sweet because the berries are so amazing, and the little bit of tart cranberry, it's really, really good.
So it's just like any other recipe. You can always add more, but you can't take it away. So please follow Alicia's advice. Start out with 5 to 8 drops of the stevia. The other thing about this recipe is that it's so refreshing and so juicy that even if you dry out your turkey on Thanksgiving, this recipe will save you.
Marvelous. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks, everybody.